Hello friends, in this session we will be talking about how is a rotating magnetic field produced because of a three-phase supply. Let's begin. Yes, so in the previous session we discussed as to how a rotating magnetic field is produced because of a two-phase supply. Now you tell me, if I just simply have two-phase supply like this, now just by injecting two-phase currents, will I be able to get a rotating magnetic field in space? The answer is yes, come on, tell me. The answer is no. Why? Because just whenever you have a two-phase supply or a three-phase supply or a four-phase supply or a five-phase supply, in that case, what you have is the currents or the voltages will be time displaced. We have already discussed, right, that currents and voltages are always time displaced. They will never be space displaced. We have already discussed it, right? Now, see here. Just by having a two-phase supply, will I be able to have a rotating magnetic field? No. Why? Because whenever I have two-phase currents they are nothing but time displaced, and this is not sufficient. This is necessary, but this is not at all sufficient. So what do we have to do here? Let us see. So you have to inject those two time displaced currents through a space displaced windings, and we have discussed what is the meaning of a space displaced winding. Space displaced winding means that, for example, see here, let me just revise what we have done. For example, I have this here, another conductor here, one conductor here, one conductor here, right? Now let me have phase A conductor here, A dash conductor here. Then we know that whenever we talk about a two-phase system like this, right, we know that, for example, this is phase A, this is current phase A, this is IA current. Then whatever will be the phase B current, that has to be 90 degrees lagging to this, right? Already we know this from the basics, right? Now that is the reason what are we going to have. For example, if this is A and A dash, then in space also, remember my words, in space also it has to be B and B dash. Agreed? And then we used to think of as if, see here, then all the alphabets without dash we used to consider dots. Now there is no, what do you say, there is not at all any compulsion to have AS dot and BS dot. You can also have them crosses also, there is no problem. But yes, there has to be one thing, what? That whatever polarity you keep for A, the opposite polarity should be for A dash. Why? Because it is the same winding like this. It is the same coil. This is, let us say, A. This is, let us say, A dash. Right? This is A and this is A dash. I know I am repeating the same thing, but it is very important. See here. And there will be a back-to-back connection here like this. We know that. And then, for example, if the current is coming out from here, means you will be considering AS dot. See here, this is A, this is A dash, right? So if it is outgoing here, then A will be called as A dash. If it is incoming from here, it will be called as cross. So here A will be dot and this will be cross, right? So similarly, let me have, why? Because see here, why this has to be cross? Because there is a back-to-back connection here. So if current is coming here like this, which means it has to come here like this, right? Now see here, if A has dot, A dash has cross, then similarly what are we going to consider? We are going to consider B as dot, B dash as cross. Right, now you will tell me, sir, but at the same instant, now see, we will be discussing it in case of three-phase, then there you will be able to understand as to what are these, why we are taking this dot and cross. You will understand how it happens. You will come to know gradually, don't worry. See here, so when we are talking about A, this is cross and that is dot, MMF is going to be in this direction. So for A, MMF will be how? This is cross, this is dot, which means cross means into the board, dot means out of the board, which means going in, coming out. this way. So this is going to be the axis of MMF for A. This is A, right? Now, if we talk about B, let us see what is happening. B is what? This is cross and this is dot, which means current is going into the board here and then coming out from here, which means again upwards. So this is going to be the axis of MMF of B, right? And then we discussed about it. Now we have understood what is a space displaced winding, that whenever the axis of MMFs are displaced, we call those windings as space displaced windings. That is what we have revised just now. Now, whenever, see, time displaced currents, this is IB. Write this, let us say IB here. Whenever we have time displaced currents flowing through space displaced windings, we are going to have rotating magnetic field. Already we have discussed in two-phase session, right? Now we will try to understand the same thing for a three-phase system. Now, why are we using three-phase? If rotating magnetic field is produced because of two-phase also, then why are we using three-phase? Before that, let me tell you one more thing. We saw that in the previous session that whenever we have a two time displaced currents flowing through two space displaced winding, one rotating magnetic field is produced in space, which is going to rotate this way or that way. Anyway, it is going to rotate, right? It will be rotating in space, right? Now see, come here. Let me consider a three-phase system. Now, why are we considering three-phase system? Are there any advantages of three-phase over two-phase RMF? 100% there are. And let me tell you one more thing. I will not be able to tell you what are the exact advantages of three-phase right now over two-phase. Why? Because we have not understood three-phase completely. So, a time will come, at some point, I will discuss as to why we are using three-phase over two-phase, but you just need to bear with me for some time, please. Now, yes, let us talk about three-phase now. See, yeah, let us firstly understand three-phase supply in a short time. Let us see. Right? For example, this axis, x-axis, let us say omega t, and with this blue, I am indicating, let us say, current IA. Right? Now, let me consider that all the waveforms are going to be sinusoidal. So, let this current be sinusoidal like this. This is going to be IA, right? Now, see here. Yeah. Now, let me have the second phase. Second phase is IB, because this is IA, then second phase has to be IB, right? Now, let me consider second phase. IB. Now, we know that if IA starts at 0, IB will be 120 degrees lagging to IA. See, if IA starts from 0, then it means IB will start after 120 degrees, because IB lags IA by 120 degrees, we know that. So, let me consider 120 degrees, and it is going to go like this somewhere. Right? Now, what about third phase? See here. Yeah, let me have C phase. This is going to be IC, right? And it will be again lagging by 120, means from A it will be lagging by 240 degrees. So let me consider that too. So here if it is 120, here 180, so here somewhere there will be 240, right? So it will start here like this. Right? Now, let us join them. Let us join them like this. So, this has to start somewhere here. And this one, green. This green, let us say, has to start from This green has to start from, let us say, like this, right? Now this is IB, this is IC, IA, this is one. This is going to be IB. Now if you see, these are the three currents which are displaced in time, right? Now what I am saying is these three currents are balanced. What is the meaning of balanced? Balanced means their magnitudes are same. Their magnitudes are same. It means they are balanced. Now when three time displaced balanced currents flow through three space displaced windings, we should get a rotating magnetic field, because in case of two phase also, for the same condition, we were able to find a rotating magnetic field. So in this case also we should have a rotating magnetic field. Let us see how we have. Let us see here. Yeah, before that we need to understand some basics about three phase. See, at any instant of time, IA plus IB plus IC is going to be 0. But before that, let me just write them in the form of an equation. Let us see. If this is IA and this particular magnitude, this particular peak value, or we can say maximum value from here to here, this is the maximum value, right? So let that be I maximum, and this I maximum will be same for blue as well as red as well as for green. For A, for B and C, it is going to be the same. Now for IA, what will I have? It is going to be I maximum sine of omega t. Omega t, right? It is going to be sine of omega t. Yeah. Now, what about IB? IB will be I maximum into sine of omega t will be there. But if you see this IB which is there, it is lagging by 120 degrees. Means when IA is crossing 0 to positive maximum, like this, when it is crossing 0 towards here like this, then at the same time B is also crossing 0 in upward direction when after 120 degrees. So after IB it is coming, if IB is I max of sine of omega t, then this is going to be I max into sine of omega t minus 120 degrees. Is that correct? Now let me consider for IC. Now here if you see, IC lags behind this IA by 240 degrees. This is 0, 120, 240. It is lagging by 240 degrees. So let me draw 240 degrees here. Let's say minus 240 degrees, because it is lagging. Minus 10 means it is going to lag. Now we need to know some observations of such three phase waveforms. Let us see. Start. Yeah. See here. Let us take some time instants. Let me have this one instant like this. When IA is maximum, let me have another instant when IB is maximum, and another instant when IC is maximum. Right? Now see here. Now see here, very important. Whenever IA is maximum, what is the value of IB and IC? Let us try to find out. See here. When IA is equal to I max, I maximum. Okay. This arrow means maximum. then what is the value of IB and IC? Let us find. See here. What will be the value of IB? IB will be, let us calculate. We know that IA will be maximum at 90 degrees. Am I right? IA will be maximum at 90 degrees. So, see here. Let me just simply replace, because this 90 degree is nothing but omega t. So, let me just replace it by 90 degrees here. So, IB will be what? I maximum into sine of omega t minus 120 degrees. Now here, let me replace omega t by 90 degrees, because when IA is maximum at 90 degrees, so at 90 degrees, what is the value of IB and IC we need to find, and then we will use the same for IB and IC also. Don't worry, chill. See, so let me replace omega t by 90 degrees. Now, this is equal to I maximum into sine of minus 30 degrees. Right? From trigonometry, we know that sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. And cos of positive minus theta is nothing but cos of theta. Notice, right, from trigonometry maths. So IA into sine of minus 30 will be nothing but I max into sine of minus 30 will be nothing but minus I max by 2. Say here, minus will come out. This will become minus I max into sine of how much? 30 degrees. What is sine 30? Half. So this is going to be minus I max by 2. This is nothing but IB. Now, let me do the same for IC. See here. Yeah. Let me do the same for IC. Let us see. IC is what? I max into sine of omega t minus 240 degrees. Right? See here. IC is how much? I max into sine of omega t minus 240 degrees. So, and we are going to replace omega t by 90 degrees. So, omega t replaced by 90 degrees. So, this is nothing but what? I max into sine of 90 degrees minus 240 will be minus 150 degrees. Right? Now, this can be thought of as I max into, let me take this minus out, minus will come here. I max into sine of 150. What is sine of 150? It will be sine of 90 degrees plus 60 degrees. Now, we know one thing, we know one relation by maths. What is that relation? Sine of 90 degrees plus theta is nothing but equal to cos theta. This is the relation we know. Sine of 90 degree plus theta is nothing but cos theta. Right? Now, in this case, what is going to happen? Minus I max into sine of 90 plus 60, which means it is going to be cos of 60. So, this will be minus I max into cos of 60 degrees. And how much is cos 60? Half. So, this is going to be minus I maximum by 2. Now, let us conclude. Let us conclude. See here. Yeah. Let me conclude. What is the conclusion? When IA is I maximum, when IA is I maximum, when IA is I maximum, at that time IB is going to be minus I maximum by 2. Right? And IC will be equal to, if you see here, IC is also minus I maximum by 2. So this is going to be, now is this valid for B phase and C phase as well? Means see here. Is this valid? See, when IA is I maximum, we are saying IB is going to be half of negative maximum. Half of negative maximum. IC is half of negative maximum. Now, what about when IB? What about when IB is positive maximum? When IB is C, what about if IB is I maximum? Means at this particular instant, right? At that particular instant, what is going to happen? The same thing, the same story will repeat. It will be half. It will be half. It will be half. Means in case of IB equal to I maximum also, you can do the same procedure. You can verify. The answer is going to be C here. When IB is equal to I maximum, IA will be minus I maximum by 2, and IB and IC will be minus I maximum by 2. Means when IB is positive maximum, IA is going to be half of negative maximum, IC is also going to be half of negative maximum. Let us do the same for C. Now, let us do the same for C. IC. When IC is current maximum, I max, then IA is going to be what and IB is going to be what? The same thing, when IC is maximum, IB and IA will be half of negative maximum. Same thing, means half of negative maximum. Half of negative maximum. Now you will ask me, sir, but why are you telling all this? You may not know this, but we are going to apply this right now. We'll see how we are going to apply them, and we will have some shortcuts. Let us see. Anyways, now see here, at any time instant, it is the best property. See here, whenever you have three balanced time displaced voltages and currents, means time displaced in the sense time displaced by 120 degrees. See again, whenever you have three time displaced currents and voltages and the angle is 120 degrees, in that case, what is going to happen? IA plus IB plus IC will be 0. This is also another important relation we need to understand. What did I say? IA plus IB plus IC equal to 0. So this is an important relation we need to know, and these are the relations which we should know. Now let us start with rotating magnetic field. Now things will be very easy. Let us start. See here. Yeah. So now let me have a stator. Right? On this stator, I will have the coils. Let us see. Let us say that I have A here. This is stator, right? So I need to have a bullseye here. Let me have A here, A dash here. Now, what about B? Will B be away from A by 90 degrees? No, because in this case it is three phase. So B will be displaced, or B will be lagging behind A by 120 degrees. So let us say here there will be B. Now the moment here we have B, we know that B dash will be exactly opposite. So B dash will be here. What about C? C will be 120 degrees apart from B. So C will be here. Where will be C dash? Opposite to C. Here is going to be C dash. Now, say here. What have we considered? Whatever the alphabets are, without dash alphabets will be given dot, and whenever there will be dash, means A dash, B dash, C dash, we are going to consider them as cross. You may consider it vice versa also. Vice versa meaning, if you want to consider A, B and C as cross and A dash, B dash, C dash as dot, You can do it, there is no problem, but please don't mix them up. Why? We have already known, because it is going to be a coil like this, right? If this is A, then this is going to be A dash, right? If current is entering here, then it has to compulsorily leave here. Why? Because it has to form a closed circuit. We know that from the basics. Now, see here. Yeah. Now, let me have dot here. Let me have cross here. Let me have dot here, cross here. Dot here, cross here. Right. Now, if you think of the three phase, let me draw the three phase one more time. See. How much time does it take? See. Three phases. See. Let this be A phase, IA current. Let me have IB current now. IB will be 120 degrees apart, so it will start from here somewhere. Right? Now, let me complete this. Let me have IC. IC is going to be, see here, 0, 180, 240. Right? Now, now all are balanced in the sense their magnitudes is same and they are displaced by same angle, that is 120 degrees. Now let me have one time instant here, T1, T2, and let me have T3. Actually, we don't need T3, but it's okay, no problem. Now we are going to do very simple things. But yeah, student may ask me, sir, for example, when you say that when IA is maximum, like this particular way, when IA is maximum, IB is going to be negative half of negative maximum, IC is going to be half of negative maximum, then how can you write here dot cross dot cross dot cross? Who are you to actually decide that this will be dot and this will be cross? See, I am no one. And you are also no one to decide. But let me tell you one thing. For example, I have a three-phase node. Here. Right? And let us say these are the terminals out. Right? Let me call this as A, B and C. Phase A, phase B and phase C. Now, what will be the direction of current? Since it is a node, direction has to be inverse, right? IA, IB and IC. Right? Now, the moment the direction is inverse, I will consider them as cross. Right? Now, but we know that whenever this IA will be 0, there will be some value of IB, some value of IC. Whenever this IA will be maximum, IB is going to be half of negative maximum, IC will be half of negative maximum, means it is going to be negative, which means here has to be dot, here has to be dot. Yes, I understand. But these cross are only references. Let me repeat. This cross, or in our case, this dot cross, this dot cross are nothing but references. Practical things will change. How they will change, we are going to find them out. Let us see. Stay tuned. See here. Now, by this, what we will get, we will understand what is going to be the axis of MMF. How? Let us see. See here. When this is A is, we are giving the reference as A is dot, A dash is cross, which means current is entering in A dash, coming out from A. So this is going to be the direction of MMF. So this is going to be FA. Right? Now, what about FB? See here. This is B, this is B dash. Sorry, this was B dash, right? So, if it is B, that is going to be B dash. Means current is entering from B dash, coming out of B. MMF is in this direction. This is going to be the MMF. FB. Axis of MMF. What about FC, sir? FC is very simple. FC is very simple. This is cross and this is dot. See, this is cross and this is dot. Into the board, out of the board. This is going to be the direction. Right? So this is going to be FC, right? Now, come on, you tell me. Are the axis of MMF space displaced in space? Yes. Now since the axis of MMF is displaced in space, it is going to be called as space displaced windings. These are the references. What will happen in actual instances, we will see right now. Let's begin. See here, at T1. Yeah. Let me just draw this 2 times so that we will be able to understand both the conditions, and then we will conclude for the 3 phase. Let us see. Let me have this for case 1, okay? Now, see here. Stator, let this be A dash. Where will be B? B will be 120 degrees apart here. B dash will be opposite to B. What about C? C will be 120 degrees apart here. What will be C dash? Opposite of C. Perfect. Now, let us see. What did we consider? This is dot, cross, dot, cross, dot, and dashes will be represented by cross. Now, see here. Already we know axis of MMF. Like this. For A. For B, it will be like this. And for C. Right? Now, here you will understand, here you will get the actual thing. Let us see. Let us say at T1. At T1, if you see what is happening, at T1 is, let us say, 90 degrees. At T1, if you see what is going to happen, IA which is there at T1, see here, focus. At T1, if you see, at T1, IA is going to be what? I maximum, right? IA is going to be I maximum. What about now? We have already studied by the previous discussion. Say here, by the previous discussion, when IA is I maximum, IB and IC will be half of negative maximum. See here, whenever IA is going to be I maximum, IB and IC is going to be what? Half of negative maximum. In case of IB, whenever IB is positive maximum, IC and IA are going to be half of negative maximum. Whenever IC is positive maximum, IA and IB will be half of negative maximum. Right? So we just need to have the same values there. That is the reason I have to tell you this whole story, so that we can understand it in short time. See here. Now, whenever IA is positive maximum, IB will be half of negative maximum. IC will be half of negative maximum. Now, let us have that. Now, you tell me, we know that MMF is what? N into I. Let me just write it down. MMF is nothing but N into I. If N is constant, we consider MMF is proportional to current. MMF F will be proportional to current. Means if current is positive maximum, MMF will be also positive maximum, F max. Whenever current is half of negative maximum, MMF is going to be half of negative maximum. Let us understand it here. Very simple, don't worry, very simple. See here. What about IA? When IA is positive maximum, which means FA will be, this is FA, right? FA will be how? FA will be positive maximum. FA is going to be positive maximum, F maximum, right? What about FB? Now here you will be understanding, that sir, you took, dot call, dot cross everywhere, we didn't understand. Actually it is going to change in time. Here everything will be clear. Just stay tuned. See here, let's talk about IB. IB is what? Half of negative maximum. Means this is IB. Firstly you need to do the half, and then you need to do negate it. See here. See here. FB is this much. FB is going to be this much. It will be half here, and it is going to be negative. Negative is opposite direction, right? Half of negative maximum means this is positive maximum. This is going to be negative maximum, and half of that means if this is full of negative maximum, half will be here. This is going to be like this. What is it? It is nothing but FB, which is nothing but half of negative maximum minus F max by 2. Yes, let us talk about IB. How much is IB? IB is going to be half of negative maximum, which means MMF by IB will also be what? Half of negative maximum, which means it is going to be half of means F max by 2 negative sign. See, this is going to be IB. See, this was FB. So this is going to be FB. This is what? Positive FB. Now what we want? Half of negative FB. So this is negative. Negative is this way and half. So if it was full negative, it would have come here, but it is half only. So this is going to be like this. What is it? This is going to be FB, which is nothing but F maximum by 2 negative. Now what about IC? IC is also what? Half of negative maximum. Means if IC is this way, if IC is this way, then negative IC will be this way, FC will be this way, negative FC. Now the moment negative FC is this way, we want half of negative FC. Means this is going to be the full negative FC, but we want only half. So this is going to be FC. Right, and this FC will be equal to what? Half of negative maximum. Right, now see here, stay tuned. See here, very important. This is FB, actual FB at time interval T1. This is FC at actual time T1, and this is FA at T1. At T1, FA is F maximum, FB is negative of half of maximum, and FC will be half of negative maximum. From this discussion we have understood it, no problem. Now will there be addition or not? Of course there will be addition. Now please tell me one thing. In this case, let us say when I am talking about FB, will I have two different components of FB? Now here is some things related to vectors. Let us see. This is FB, right? Can I have one component in this direction and another component in this direction? Can I have? Let us discuss. See here. For example, this is vector A bar, and I have, let us say, one more vector here, B bar. Now I have to add them. What will I use? Triangle law. What does triangle law say? Whenever, see, this is the vector A, this is going to be vector B. So the third side of the triangle. Third side of the triangle is nothing but, let us say, C bar, which is A bar plus B bar. So can I say that if this is my C bar, so this C bar can be split into one horizontal component and one vertical component, like this A bar and B bar. If I don't have this A bar and B bar, if I don't have A bar and B bar, I only have C bar. So can I split it into horizontal component A bar and vertical component B bar? I can do it, right? So this we have already studied in vectors. We are not going to discuss them here. Now let us see here. See, this is FB. This is split into two components. One is horizontal component, one is vertical component, right? Horizontal, vertical component. Now, same with this green. I can split this FC into horizontal component and vertical component. So let us say this is horizontal component and this is vertical component, right? Now if you see here, these two are exactly opposite to each other, which means these two will cancel out, which means vertical components of them will get cancelled out. So what is going to be the resultant? What is going to be the resultant? Resultant will be F maximum plus this one and this one, these two components. So resultant is going to be this one, F resultant. Now I need to do something. This is F resultant. F resultant will be, of course, greater than F maximum. Why? Because horizontal component of FC is also there and horizontal component of FB is also there. So FR is equal to what? F maximum, this particular F maximum plus. Now you please tell me what will be the value of this component. Let us discuss. See here, from here to here, how much is the angle? Angle between this A, FA and this FC, how much is the angle? This angle is 120 degrees, right? This angle is 120 degrees. Right? Now, if this angle is 120 degrees, how much is these two angles? This angle and this angle? 60 degrees. See here, if this angle is 120 degrees, if this angle is 120 degrees, these two are diametrically opposite to each other, which means this complete angle is going to be 180 degrees. So if this is 180 degrees, this complete is 180 degrees, means this whole complete is 180 degrees. See here, if this complete is 180 degrees and this much is just 120 degrees, which means this angle left is going to be 60 degrees, right? So this one will be equal to what? F maximum into, if this is 60 degrees. Now if you see here, this is adjacent side, so I can write it down in terms of F maximum by 2. This will be F maximum by 2 into cos of 60 degrees. This is going to be, see here, this is the hypotenuse. Let me tell you, very simple, how it is coming from mathematics. Let me take it separate and we will discuss. See here, see here, what I was saying, this was F maximum by 2, nothing but FC at T1, right? This was F maximum by 2, this was F maximum by 2. We had to find this one, this length we do not know, right? And we know this angle is 60 degrees. This angle we already know. How? Because this is going to be the opposite. This complete from here to here is going to be 180 degrees. And we know that this FA and this FB will be displaced by 120 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 120 degrees will give me 60 degrees. So this is going to be 60 degrees. I think that you will agree with me with this. And this particular vertical component is already gone, right? But let me just have it for some sake. Let me just have this component, right? Now, see here, what will be the value of this? This is 90 degrees, right? Because it is a vertical component. So what will be the value of this one? Is it adjacent side? So let me have cos of 60 degrees. See here, very simple, very simple. Don't worry. Let me have cos of 60 degrees. If I think of cos of 60 degrees, what will it be? Cos theta is what? Adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent is this question mark divided by adjacent is this one, na? This is going to be the question mark divided by hypotenuse. So what is hypotenuse? F maximum by 2. Now we are supposed to find what? Question mark. So what is question mark? Question mark will be equal to F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees. This is the simplest way I can explain. I hope this one is clear. Now it is what? Please note, F maximum by 2 into cos 60. F maximum by 2 into cos 60. But this was only for this particular green component. What about this red component? Same story will come. See here. This complete angle is going to be 180. Complete angle is 180. This is going to be 120. If this is 60, this has to be 60. So again, if here also if you see, same thing will come. What will be that? F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees, which means let me write this down. So this was FR. Let me write it down here. If you see, what will be the value of FR? FR is going to be very simple. What is that? F maximum will come plus F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees and F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees. Can I write it as 1 plus 1, 2 times F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees. Now 2 gets cancelled. What is cos of 60 degree? Is it half? So can I replace it by half? So this is going to be F maximum plus half of F maximum. So FR is going to be 1.5 times F maximum. Now this is happening at T1. Let us try to find out the poles. Poles means, let us see. So now speaking about the poles, where will be this particular pole? Let us see. Very important. Now if I am sitting in this air gap, right? If I am sitting in this air gap, where is going to be the pole? Yeah. This blue is going to be the stator. I am sitting in the air gap. What do I see? I see that this resultant which is there, this resultant of FA, FB and FC, this resultant is in this direction, which means it is going into the stator from here, which means this is going to be south pole of the resultant. And if this is entering there, which means it has to come out from here, which means this is going to be north pole resultant. We are speaking about the stator only, so in stator it is going to go inside, hence it is going to be the south resultant, this is going to be the north resultant. Now let us see what happens at T2. Let me have at T2 what is happening. This you will be able to do very fast. See here at T2. At T2 if you see what is there, IB is maximum. What is IB? IB is going to be maximum at T2, which means IC will be half of negative maximum, IA will be half of negative maximum. Let's draw it. See. At T2, what is going to happen? IB is going to be positive maximum, IA is going to be half of negative maximum, and IC will be nothing but half of negative maximum. Why? Because we have already studied it. Now we have done it many times. We know that whenever one particular current is at maximum, then Others are going to be half of negative maximum. We have already studied. Now, let us try to describe it in figure. See. Come on, fast, very fast. See, this is stator, right? This is going to be A. This is going to be A dash. This is going to be B dash. Why? Because these will come after 120 degrees, lagging 120 degrees. What about C? Here is going to be C. Here is going to be C dash. All the alphabets you know, we give dot, 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 and all dashes we give cross. Right? Now see here, very important. Let us think about axis of A. Axis of MMF of A. This is cross, this is dot. Axis is going to be this way. Axis of FA. What about FB? FB is going to be how? See, this is B and that is B dash. Entering cross, this is out of the board. FB is going to be this way. Flush is going to be this way. This is going to be MMF of FB. FB is red, we know that, right? Now, what is FC? FC is green. So, FC will be how? This is dot and this is cross, which means entering here, coming out here. See, into the board here, coming out here like this, which means it is going to be this way. Now, see here, very important. Now, let us draw what is happening at T2. At T2, what is happening? IB is nothing but Imax. At T2, IB is nothing but Imax, which means MMF is also maximum, and that too positive maximum, which means if IB is this way, so it is going to be positive maximum. This is going to be what? FB, which is equal to F max, right? This one. Now, let us think of FA. FA will be how, sir? See, IA is half of negative maximum, which means FA will be also half of negative maximum. Why MMF, right? Because MMF is proportional to current, already we have seen. See here, IA is going to be half of negative maximum. Where is IA? IA is this. So if IA of this is this, negative IA will be this way, and half of that, right? See again, this is positive FA, positive maximum FA will be this way, negative maximum will be this way. We are going to take half, so this is half. This is FA, which is equal to F maximum by 2. Now, let us think of FC. FC will be also half of negative maximum. Half of negative maximum, which means if this is positive maximum, this is going to be negative maximum and half. So half will come here. So this is going to be what? FC, which is equal to F maximum by 2. Right? Now, see here. Now, as usual, what did we do? Remaining ones, we split them into components. So if this is this way, its vertical component will be this way, horizontal component will be this way. So this is going to be vertical and horizontal component, right? Now, see here. Same for FC. If we think of FC also, this FC can be divided into horizontal component and vertical component. This is vertical component, this is going to be, right? Now, since these two are equal, these two will get cancelled. They are equal and opposite, right? Hence, these two will get cancelled. Now, what will be the resultant? Resultant will be F max plus these some values. What are these? Let us see. Do you believe that since these vertical components are cancelled, what is going to happen? This particular resultant will be how? This F maximum red plus blue component and green component. F maximum red plus this blue component and red component. So resultant is somewhere here. This is going to be the resultant FR. Now, how will we write it? Very simple. FR will be what? We know that it is going to be FB, which is F maximum. So F maximum plus, let us see what is happening. What about this component? Now, very simple. We know this angle. This angle is 60 degrees. How do we know that? See, this is going to be diametrically opposite. So this complete is going to be 180 degrees. Means this complete is also going to be 180 degrees. This is going to be 180 degrees. Now we know that between FA and FC, angle is going to be 120 degrees. So 180 minus 120 will be 60 degrees, right? So what will be this value? Value will be nothing but F max by 2 cos of theta. We have already discussed how we have got this cos theta, right? How we have got this cos theta we have already discussed. See here. This total is going to be 180 degrees, agreed? This total is going to be 180 degrees. Now we know that this one, this FA, negative of FA and negative of FC, negative of FA and negative of FC, this one will be 120 degrees, right? Will be 120 degrees. So if you see here, this is going to be 60 degrees. If this is 60 degrees, this is going to be 60 degrees only. So this is nothing but F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees, right? Yes. Now this was about this particular what do you say, blue. What about this? Same story. See here, this complete is going to be 180. Complete is going to be 180. Angle between this one and this one is going to be 120. This is FB and this is FC, and this angle is 120 and this total is 180. 180 minus 120 will be 60 degrees. So again I will have plus F maximum by 2 cos of 60 degrees. Now let me write it. What is FRC? FR is going to be F maximum plus F maximum by 2 cos theta plus F maximum by 2 cos theta, which is nothing but 2 times F maximum by 2 cos 60 degrees, right? Which is equal to what? Half. 2 gets cancelled. Cos 60 is half. So this is going to be F maximum plus F maximum by 2. So this FR will be equal to what? 1.5 times F maximum. So in case of T2 also we got the same. See here. Now how to place the poles? This blue is my stator, right? Right. This blue is my stator. So if you see here, what is the direction of my resultant? Resultant is this way. The moment my resultant is this way, in the stator it is entering here, which means this is going to be the south pole of resultant. And if you see here, where it is? Yes, here it is going to be north pole of the resultant, diametrically opposite. So this is going to be south pole, this is going to be north pole. Now let us conclude. Now we have to conclude. See, at first case at T1 what happened is when IA was maximum, see here was the south pole, here is the north pole, right? And when IB was maximum, in T2 case what happened is this south pole got shifted here and this north pole got shifted here, right? And if you see the angle between them, angle is also 120 degrees, right? Let me draw it one more time. See here. See here, very important. First case, second case, right? In the first case, if you see, This is the first case. In first case, if you see, north was here, south was there. So north of resultant, south of resultant at T1. And in second case, if you see, south is here, north is here, which means yes. Now just compare. The first and foremost assumption, see here, from T1 to T2 when you go, when you went from T1 to T2, see here, see here, this was T1, this was T2. What is the displacement between T1 and T2 in time? In time, from T1 if you start from T1, you will have to wait for 120 degrees in order to T2 to come, right? Now, see here. Yes. In time from T1 to T2, in time, right? In time from T1 to T2, you waited for 120 degrees. You waited for 120 degrees, and here if you see, this is north and this is south, so this was the way it went, MMF, and here it is north and here it is south, so this is how the MMF went. Now, if you just observe from T1 to T1, you displaced time for 120 degrees, means you waited for 120 degrees, which means IA maximum to IB maximum. You waited for 120 degrees in time, and then in space, you got this one displaced here, this way. If you see now, in space the displacement is 120 degrees. In space also, the displacement is going to be 120 degrees. See here, in time you waited for 120 degrees. So in space, this rotating magnetic field rotated from here to here by 120 degrees. Here to, this is the first case at T1, to here in T2. I hope it is clear. Now we have to make the final observation. Conclusion we can see. Conclusion number 1. Conclusion. What is the conclusion? See here, first one. When 3 time displaced balanced currents balanced currents flow through when 3 time displaced currents, means this one, 3 time displaced currents flow through 3 space displaced windings, 3 space displaced windings, rotating magnetic field RMF, rotating magnetic field RMF of magnitude. What was the magnitude? See here, 1.5 times F max, and where it is gone, 1.5 times F max. Is it just the magnitude? No, constant magnitude. that is 1.5 times F max, rotates in space. Now see here, when three time displaced balanced currents, time displaced 120 degrees displaced, balanced currents flow through three space displaced windings, rotating magnetic field of constant magnitude, that is 1.5 times F max, rotates in space with angle of time. Angle of time means, sir, see here. Angle of time means, sir, in time from T1 to T2 you had to wait for 120 degrees in order to have the rotating magnetic field, displaced by 120 degrees in space. There is nothing but time. See here. This is the meaning of with angle of time, right? And it aligns with this is very important point. The rotating magnetic field aligns with the direction in which maximum current flows. The axis of MMF in which maximum current flows. Yes. Now, final conclusion. When three time displaced, that is 120 degrees balanced current flow through three space displaced windings, what is going to happen? Rotating magnetic field of constant magnitude, that is 1.5 maximum, this is going to be the value, right? Rotates in space with time, rotates in space with angle of time. Angle of time means in order to have from IA maximum to IB maximum, you waited in time for 120 degrees, and when you waited in time for 120 degrees, you got rotating magnetic field displaced by 120 degrees in space. That is nothing but meaning of with angle of time. And the rotating magnetic field, it means rotating magnetic field aligns with the axis of MMF in which maximum current flows. This is nothing but about the rotating magnetic field produced by three-phase supply. Yes. So now see here. Whenever three time displaced, that is 120 degrees balanced currents flow through time displaced windings, what is going to happen? Rotating magnetic field is going to be produced. But now see here, very important thing. It will have a constant magnitude, that is 1.5 times F max. We know that it rotates in space with angle of time. We have understood why, because from IA maximum to IB maximum, from IA to move to maximum, for example, this is the way, and it is IB maximum, you have to wait for 120 degrees in time. You have to wait for 120 degrees in time, because see, from T1 to T2 you have to wait in time for 120 degrees, and then what you got is, you got this MMF. At T1 it was here, at T2 it is here, which means in space it got displaced by 120 degrees. That is the meaning of in time. Now see here, very important. This angle of time we have understood, which means in time you have to wait for 120 degrees in order to have 120 degrees displacement of rotating magnetic field in space. We have seen that. But see here, and it aligns with the axis of MMF in which maximum current flows. What is the meaning? Let us understand. See here. If you see at T1, this was it. It was my T1, right? Now if you say here, in case of T1, what was there? IA maximum, right? Now, the moment there was IA maximum, see here, IA maximum means, now you tell me, what is the axis of MMF of FA? Is it this? This was the axis of MMF of SA. See, this was FA, right? This was the axis of MMF of FA. This was FA. Now see here, whenever IA was maximum, means IA is equal to positive I maximum. At that time, if you see here, MMF was this. And just observe, where was the resultant? Where was the resultant? Resultant was in the same direction. Same direction was the resultant FR. This FR resultant is in the same direction of IA maximum. Means FA. Again. In case of T2, if you see, and if you observe the same, in case of T2, if you see, at T2, what was maximum? At T2, where it is gone? Yes. At T2, if you see, IB was maximum, right? Now, the moment IB was maximum, we know that what is the axis of MMF of IB? IB, this was IB, this is cross, this is dot. Axis was this way. The axis of MMF, and if you see the direction of rotating magnetic field, are they in the same direction? The resultant of the rotating magnetic field is in this direction, and it is aligning with what? Axis of MMF of IB. IB's axis is this way. So the final sentence meaning is this one. I hope you have got it, and that is very important because in the upcoming sessions I will directly use those observations. Yes, you please note them down. This is very important. Now, see here. Come on, see here. Very important point. Second conclusion. Very important. See, second conclusion. If we observe from T1 to T2 when we went, right, we displaced by 120 degrees, right? We displaced in time from T1 to T2, we displaced in time by 120 degrees, and then in space we got the rotating magnetic field RMF, right? And in space it got displaced by 120 degrees. We agree with that, right? And now you tell me, the moment one cycle gets completed, means if, let us say I am saying from time to space. We have been discussing about time to space only. This is time and this is space. So now you tell me 120 degrees were completed in time, 120 degrees rotation was completed in space, which means, see here, in time, if I complete one cycle, then in space I will complete one rotation. One cycle means, sir, 360 degrees rather than 120. If I go by 160 degrees, then in space also, with the same way I will go 160 degrees only. And 160 degrees in space means, see here, starting here, this is 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, which means one complete rotation is done, which means, see here, one cycle in time will produce one rotation in space. Now, let us think about F cycles. F number of cycles means F cycles, and that too per second. Then in space, what will I get? I will get F rotations per second, means I will get F RPS. What is RPS? Rotations per second. This is for F. Now, what about RPM? See here. See here. F cycles per second will produce F rotations per second. Why? Because see here, one cycle will produce one rotation, which means F cycle will produce F rotations. Now, F cycles per second will produce F rotations per second. See here, very simple. F cycles will produce how much? Will produce F rotations. Right. See, one cycle is producing one rotation in space. One rotation of RMF in space. Starting here, like this. Back to pavilion. Now, F cycles will produce F rotations. Now, F cycles per second will produce how much rotations? F rotations per cycle. F rotations per second. Right. Now, if I can express this in terms of RPM, means if I have F rotations per second, then how many rotations will I have in 1 minute? Now we know that. See here, 1 minute will have 60 seconds. Right. Now, for 1 second, if I see 1 second, how much do I have? For 1 second, I have F times F rotations, which means for 1 second, if I have F rotations, which means I will have, for 1 minute, I will be having 60 F rotations. See here, in 1 minute, there are going to be 60 seconds. For 1 second, I am going to have F rotations, because F rotations per second. In 1 second, I will have F rotations. So, 1 second will have F rotations here. Now, 1 minute has 60 seconds. So, just multiplied by 60, you will get 60 into F rotations. Now, are they in 1 minute? Yes, which means I will have 60 F rotations per minute. So, I can also write it as 60 F rotations per minute. RPM is rotations per minute. Yes, so these are the conclusions. See here, what is the second conclusion? This is the first conclusion you have to note down, and this is the second conclusion. What is the conclusion? That from time to space, if we see, in time, if I complete one cycle, means 360 degrees, then my rotating magnetic field will also complete one complete rotation. That is one rotation. One cycle equals one rotation in space, which means if there are F cycles, it will be indicating F rotations. If there are F cycles per second, it will show F rotations per second, and 60 F, how it is coming, I have shown you. 60 F RPM will be there. So, in this particular way, we have studied the rotating magnetic field by three-phase supply. Thank you.